Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome warmly Kendra Gaeta.
I like that there's a judge on the reel. Thank you. Okay, is this right? I haven't told this story in its full completion like this, but I really love pets. I love animals a lot, and the fact that we get to have pets in our world is extremely important to me. And I have this cat that I moved to Philadelphia with, and I love her to pieces. But when this other little guy showed up on my front doorstep all fluffy and hungry, I couldn't say no. So Gino came in, and Gino and Alice, they hate each other. And Alice hates every other cat, and Gino loves to be hated by Alice, and they fight. Like, it's ridiculous. And now they're meow, and they scream and they do all this, and it doesn't even faze us, and guests are like, what's going on? And it's like, it's cool, you know, it's just them. So I explained that I was having this domestic disturbance in my house to a friend of mine who always was sort of like my best grown-up friend growing up, and she suggested to me that I call the animal communicator that she uses, and I was really, really surprised that she would use such a service, because I kind of thought I knew her better than that, but was like, really, animal communicator. And then she told me the story. She's a horse person, so am I, but like, she told me the story that the animal communicator told her that her favorite horse was having pain behind his eye, and a couple days later his eye got infected, and they brought the vet out, and they basically intercepted an infection that surely would have killed him if it would have gone on. So I was like, you know, maybe this lady, this lady, she's in Iowa, you call her on the phone and she, quote, finds your pet, and she does it, it's all over the phone, and your pet doesn't even have to be there, and so, no, I'm totally serious, and so then first, before this, I did this, and I logged on to her website, and the URL is ispeakanimal.com, so I was like, alright, so I find this woman, and I make an appointment with her mom, and then like a couple days later I call, and I always do this. Okay, so that will come later. Okay, so then I call this woman, and I tell her, she's like, so who are we going to be speaking to today? And I said, my cat, Alice. And she says, so you're in Philadelphia, what color is Alice? And I said, oh, she's black, and she sort of has tuxedo markings, and she's very, very silky. She says, okay, hold on, I'm finding her. And so then she's like, oh, you said Alice was silky, and I thought that meant she had long hair, but she doesn't have long hair at all. And I say, why, no, she doesn't have long hair at all, she has short hair, she's just really silky. And she goes, yes, I can see it now. And I'm like, oh. Totally knows my cat, and she's right there with us. So, okay, so also, I'm in one room, and there's like this orange ottoman footstool that Gino always lays on, and Gino's outside, but like, Alice walks into the room while I'm on the phone, and she's like, totally smelling the ottoman, and I was like, and the lady's like, so, is there anything, what would you like to ask Alice? And I was like, well, really, what I want to know is if there's anything that Alice wants to tell me, thinking that that's like going to be like the thing that, you know, like tells me whether she's a flake or not. And she goes, well, you have another cat, don't you? And I was like, yes, I have another cat. And she says, and this cat is new, isn't it? And I said, yes, he's new. And she says, he's not a baby, is he? And I said, no, he's not. He's full grown. And she said, she thinks he's really dirty. Oh, shit. So anyway, So it turns out that my cats don't like each other, and she tells me all this stuff about the cats, and it's totally all right on. And then finally we get to the part where she finds Gino, and it's like all this stuff is really, really right. It gets to the part with Gino, and when we first got Gino, we sent him off to go get neutered because we figure he's a street cat. And so they put him under, and then the vet calls us back, and she says, I just need to tell you, your cat's already been neutered. He has no testicles. And I was like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah. So I was like, all right. So I went to pick up my cat, and he's like floppity and asleep. And so I bring him home, and I totally molest him on the couch for like an hour. But then at any rate, she goes in, when she finds Gino, this is my best intentions, when she finds Gino, she's like, oh yes, I see him now. And she's like, he has a really, like, he's kind of got a sense of humor. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, like, the only thing he really wants me to tell you is that he's already been neutered.